Before we get into the simulation of the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans, I do want to apologize for yesterday. I did not make a random team face-off, and hang on, make sure you can hear me real quick. I did not make one yesterday, and I am truly sorry. I had a lot going on. Just a busy Wednesday. We had AEW yesterday, which was really good. AEW is my favorite, but we won't talk about wrestling right now. This is a football stream. Anyways, I hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, make sure you smash the like button. Everything will be back next week. The random team face-offs will be back next week. We got couple good matches this week. We have the Patriots and the Cowboys, which should be pretty good. We have the Ravens and the Rams, that should be really good. We have the Saints and the Carolina Panthers. We have the 49ers and the Packers. We have a lot of good simulations that I'm probably going to do this week. I don't know if I'm going to do them all, but I am going to do the important ones. This one is for tonight's game because I mean, it's Thursday Night Football and Deshaun Watson and I think it's Brissett is the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, but I know Deshaun Watson's a former Clemson quarterback, so I'm rooting for the Texans because I'm a big fan of Clemson. Anyways, enough rambling on. I just want to say I'm sorry, and thank you guys for 96 subscribers, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the comeback player of the year, Andrew Luck, and the Indianapolis Colts, as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. From the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And Charles, this AFC South, the only division with 3 teams over 500 a year ago. Now, here in 2019, this may be the most wide-open division in the National Football League.
In addition, it's a really improved division because for years, remember, Indianapolis ran this division. Then Houston popped up, and they took over. Jacksonville almost went to the Super Bowl just 2 seasons ago. And Tennessee was in the playoffs 2 years ago and almost got back there again last year. You're exactly right. This is a wide-open division. Should be a fun one to watch.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leading the Texans here onto the field is quarterback Deshaun Watson, who had a rough game. Well, the team had a rough game last week in that 41-7 loss to Baltimore. But let's focus on Watson. 169 yards passing, no touchdowns, and an interception, and he got sacked 6 times against the Ravens, Charles.
And I think what I focus on in that game is I'm used to Deshaun Watson leading a charge in the second half, in the fourth quarter, and that never materialized. But that doesn't mean he hasn't had a great season so far. But the stat I keep coming back to, he had never lost a game by more than 8 points in his career prior to last Sunday. That's pretty impressive, too.
They're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Let's go, let's go.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones, and he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw, Watson. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Mike, I'm here all day. Tight right. Hey.
Now the 3rd-year back out of Texas, Deontay Foreman. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Check Mike 15. Here we go. Check 15. Check.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That's on the 1st-round pick, number 23 overall, Titus Howard. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Watch the twist.
From the gun, here's Watson. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So here come the Colts under 2nd-year coach Frank Reich. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I love everything about Andrew Luck's game, but I also love his worldliness. Some of his formative years were spent growing up outside of the United States, and I think that that's helped him when he came back because now he's seen the world, and I think that helped him mature a little bit as well.
41.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Check 99.
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second. Down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Set, hut, 56 yard. Check, 55 to Mike. Here I come.
On second down, it's Hines. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the
Good
first.
work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here we go. Set. Go to base. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check.
Brissett on 1st down. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Houston's offense coming back out here. And, Charles, back in Week 11, we talked about that loss, 41-7 to Baltimore. So now, look, they're neck and neck at the top of the AFC South. It's going to be interesting to see how this division plays out. They definitely need to do a better job, though, of keeping Deshaun Watson upright if they want to have a chance to win this division.
Yeah, sacked 6 times in that game against Baltimore, and he has to do his part as well by getting rid of the football and helping out his linemen. But how about this 3-game stretch at home? Remember, they're trying to prevent a sweep by Indy, and then the winner takes the lead in the AFC South when that game happens, and then they host New England and host Denver. This is 3 games that should define their season.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
It's going to be a long day, offense.
Here's Watson fighting through pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Sack lunch, baby. Yum, 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 yum.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
3rd and long. It's Watson. This is Miller. Complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out once more comes the Indianapolis Colts offense, and we've talked about the quarterback spot, Jacoby Brissett back there. But now they've got Marlon Mack, who fractured his hand, out indefinitely after having surgery. They think he'll return this season. But look, the rushing game was really good in Week 11, 264 yards. That was their best team rushing performance in 15 years. If they can get Mack back, this team is starting to round into form.
It certainly is, and the good thing for them is they had 2 100-yard rushers in this last game. Marlon Mack, as you mentioned before. But how about Jonathan Williams stepping up for them? So now with Mack out, it'll be Jonathan Williams' ball to carry, and we'll see if he'll continue to gallop for the Colts.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return, Carter. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Watson. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They begin the drive with Hines. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action with Brissett. Dumps this one off to Mack. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Brissett sets to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw is Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Able to find a lot of empty space there. Picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Watch the ball, watch the ball. Under 10, under 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Linebacker Anthony Walker's a fun guy to talk about. A 5th-round pick in 2017 out of Northwestern. A terrific run stopper. Excellent tackler, makes a lot of plays in the backfield for losses, and has emerged as one of the team leaders on defense.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Check 52.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
All day, every day.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Single.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready? Here we go. Set. Get ready. Get ready.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Here we go.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, D.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, 4-1. Bring it.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Come on here, come get some.
Here's Hines. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. Now the ball comes loose. And the Texans scoop it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
That's our ball.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just a single catch. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Watson completes it to Miller. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. It's complete. It's Miller.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
Set, ready. Not scared. Check back.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. This is Hines. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And a look now at Lamar Miller. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I'm going to hit you all.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hey, set. 50. 50, Mike's 50. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
41's the mic. Don't get nervous.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Let's go.
3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I got you. Mike, 55. Check it.
Throwing, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Brissett. Left side, Doyle with it. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
You got him. You got him.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He hasn't had his usual star-studded performance so far, but still the 2nd quarter, and they're still up on the scoreboard.
And sometimes even as a decoy, you can have a big impact on the game, and that's what we've seen thus far. They're still able to get it done. They found other ways. They haven't had to utilize him as a top priority just yet, but you know he's waiting and available.
Yeah, now the question is, how will they utilize him here? They go play action here on 1st down. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This will be taken at the 10.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Brissett on 1st down. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This a give to Mack running to the right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And with that, folks, I want to remind you to join the NFL Salute to Service. This season, the NFL and its players are honoring those who proudly serve our country, and fans are encouraged to join NFL players in writing letters to service members and their families. To learn how you can send your letter today, visit NFL.com/salute. Here's Marlon Mack. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Brissett. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. They run the counter. Hines, and down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
To throw is Brissett. Ebron caught left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 11. Back to throw, Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
I'm coming.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Watson now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, partner, let's look league-wide for a second and think playoffs here. I'm going to give you some teams, and you tell me if they still have a chance at the AFC wild card, or are they just waiting till next year. How about Cleveland at 4-6?
They're actually getting hot right now, but I still don't see them getting there and being in the playoffs.
Okay, same division. Steelers, they're 5-5 right now.
Yeah, I think the loss to Cleveland finished off that run.
Also 5-5, the Titans.
They actually have a chance if they stick to what they do best, and that's run the football. They'll have to chase down Indianapolis and Houston in their own division.
Okay, lastly, I'm going to ask the question because they've talked about it. How about the 3-7 Jets?
Who's they and why?
Not you and I.
Okay, I was about to say, why? No.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett, throw complete there. Rodgers. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A 1st down throw for Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To try again after the sack. Brissett, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And this will pin them back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now out comes Houston. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It was Justin Houston who got him down. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has the look of a game that could very well go down to the wire. Just 1 point separating these two clubs at the break. But they're ready for the second half, and we are too. As we'll kick it right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
All day. I'm coming after you.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got.
They run with Hines. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They run again with Hines, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go.
This is Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Hines. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Carryover from the first half. That defensive line continues to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're actually playing the game in the offense's backfield. They're taking those offensive linemen and pushing them back towards the quarterback and towards the runners. I still don't think, though, that you abandon the running game totally, because if you do, you're asking for a lot more hits on your QB.
They can't hang with us.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Check 55, Mike. 3 bud, 3 bud, 3 bud.
Brissett. Middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Brissett. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
We own them. We own them.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Here's Brissett. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So with fourth down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this third quarter. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and down.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And the Colts coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Yeah. 60 out low. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Get him, boy.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Brissett sets to throw it. This goes out right to Doyle. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got Jack Doyle, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Brissett now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a carry for Mack. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Buddy up, 55, Mike 55. Yeah.
From the 38, Brissett. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Brissett to throw on first. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Here we go. 15 running. Better bring it. You better run it.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Throwing. Brissett. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Let's go.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Ready? It's coming. 41's the mic. Push him back.
They'll run on first down. Mack. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check 41. Bring it.
On second down and 4, Brissett. This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Third and short yardage, Brissett toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Vinatieri's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Watson, option left. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Gets around him, runs through the contact. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of score. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
Pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Move. You got 3 down.
To throw, Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So we got man.
On first down, it's Hines. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
No chance.
To throw is Brissett. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Brissett now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Mack, draw play. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Brissett. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Let's go.
22 yards there, a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Come on, set. Yeah, that's what I do.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Brissett now. Catch made here by Campbell. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Brissett, and that is incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go!
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Watson going to give this one to Miller. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
I know you felt that one.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set. 19. Mike 50.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear.
They'll run it again with Miller.
Run.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
set. 18. Ricky. Let him go.
A first down carry now for Miller. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
We're set. 19. Here we go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
On second down, it's Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try the air now with Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check.
Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go again.
Here's Watson. And his throw is incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. But it's going to be 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 6. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Watson. Rolling to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
You better be ready next time.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
65. Go.
Out of the gun, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Darren Fells there to make the grab. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. A first down throw for Brissett. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Hines. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Hines. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second down, here's a run with Mack, and he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett, and the catch made by Hilton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Come on, fellas.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And the Texans scoop it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Brissett on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. Throw complete there. Rodgers. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They come out here in the eye. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Eric Ebron taking it in as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they'd been down there. They'd been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
4 down.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Watson now to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Watson trying to get his guys moving. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson underneath for Miller. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
Watson now to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Blue down.
Now Miller. He's had a big workload here tonight. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Watson hands this to Foreman. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll run with Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
50 set. 19. Check pass.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Set. You don't want none of that. Give it. Pick up the ball.
A throw out wide to QT, complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaud.